Are you on a weight loss journey or thinking about starting a weight loss journey and you know you need to be in a calorie deficit, but you don't really know where to start and you have a lot of questions to make sure that you're setting yourself up for success? Don't worry, in today's video, we are talking all things calorie deficit for fat loss. I'm gonna answer the top 12 questions I get on a regular basis when it comes to calorie deficit in relation to weight loss or fat loss. So let's not waste any time, let's get right into it. But of course, if you're new here, make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit that bell so you get a notification when I release a new video just like this one every single week. My name's Michelle Roots, kinesiologist, personal trainer, and nutrition coach with over 17 years experience in the industry, helping people increase lean muscle and decrease body fat to become the strongest, leanest, healthiest versions of themselves. And I created this channel because I want to help you as well. Okay, let's get right into it. I'm gonna answer the top 12 questions I get on a regular basis when it comes to calorie deficit and fat loss, so that by the end of this video, you are going to have all your questions answered and be ready to go and crush your weight loss journey. Question number one, what is a calorie deficit? Put simply, a calorie deficit is when you consume fewer calories through food and drink than your body needs for daily activities and functions. So basically, you're consuming fewer calories than your body needs to maintain its current weight. Question number two, how do you calculate your calorie deficit for fat loss? There are two very easy ways to do this. Both are great, especially when you are just getting started. I mentioned this in a few other videos. You can do all of the calculators you want, but until you put these numbers into action in your own body and see what your results are like week after week of being consistent, that's when you can really lock in your specific calorie deficit, because our bodies are different, our workouts are different, everything is different. So the first way, and probably the simplest way to get a calorie deficit number within the next few seconds, is taking your goal body weight and multiplying that by 10 to 12. So for example, if you currently weigh 180 pounds and your goal body weight is 160 pounds, you're gonna take 160, multiply that by 10, and then multiply that by 12. So 160 times 10 is 1,600 calories, 160 times 12 is 1,920 calories. And then my best advice is usually to start at the 1,920 calories or give yourself a number in the middle. So maybe start at 1,800 calories. Versus going towards the lower end first, especially if you're starting with a higher body fat percentage and have a lot more weight to lose. And option number two, a very simple way to do it is just to use an online calculator that will incorporate your basal metabolic rate and your total daily energy expenditure to come up with numbers and show you what your maintenance calories are as well as your calorie deficit numbers. So I'll show you the calculator here. I'll put the link to this calculator in the video description if you want to go try it out. So here we are. My age is 41, I am a female, I'm 5'8" tall, and I currently weigh 150 pounds. And see, it gives you options. So if you wanna know your basal metabolic rate, you have it there. If you exercise, light to moderate, if you're daily, I'm just gonna put moderate exercise for me. You can also add in here which formula you want to use. If you know your current body fat percentage, you can get a little bit more specific with the Catch-McCardle. But if you don't know those numbers, just keep it simple with putting in your exercise and then you're going to hit calculate. So now it's going to tell me approximately to maintain my current body weight is about 2,042 calories a day. And then if I want to lose half a pound a week, I'm going to eat 1,792 calories. If I want to lose 1 pound a week, it's about 1,542 calories. And extreme weight loss, which I don't recommend to anybody, is 2 pounds a week. I would eat 1,042 calories a day. So that's just another way to calculate it. But again, until you put these numbers into play and see how you feel energy-wise, see what's happening on the scale with your progress week after week, that's when you're truly going to know what your maintenance calories are. That's when you're truly going to know a good calorie deficit number for you. Calorie deficit, question number three. How much of a calorie deficit do I need to be in order to lose weight safely and sustainably? Notice what I did there. I'm not talking quick, rapid fat loss that is non-sustainable. So I don't even want to approach that on this channel. I'm not going to talk about it because I don't think it's a good way to approach your weight loss or fat loss journey. I'm going to talk about the safe, sustainable weight loss with a strategy behind it so that once you lose the weight and you get to your goal body weight or goal body, you are able to maintain it for the rest of your life. So what do I need to do there? Science tells us that 1 pound of body fat is 3,500 calories. So over the course of a week, if we want to lose 1 pound a week, we need to displace 500 calories. So with that being said, if you put yourself in a 500 calorie deficit every single day, 500 times 7 is 3,500 calories. In a perfect world, that means losing 1 pound a week efficiently, safely, and effectively. But if you've ever been on a weight loss journey, we know that weight just doesn't drop off like that consistently. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. If you have a lot more body weight to lose, you can be a little bit more steep and strict with your calorie deficit. If you're within 20-25 pounds of your goal body weight, you don't want to go much more than 500 calorie deficit per day. Calorie deficit question number 4. How do I know if I'm in a calorie deficit? If I've done all my calculations and I start eating at that calorie number that I found, how do I know if it's working and how do I know if I should keep going at that number? First sign, weight loss. So if you are experiencing weight loss, it's working, you are probably in a calorie deficit, and keep going. Sign number 2 is hunger level. So if you are hitting your protein and you're eating high volume foods and you're doing all the right things and you still feel a little bit hungry, that is completely normal because again, you are taking in less calories than your body actually needs. So you are gonna feel a little bit more hungry. Third sign is same thing goes for energy levels. So again, you're taking in less energy than your body needs. So you're gonna maybe feel a little bit of a decline in your energy levels. Sign number 4, your clothes are starting to fit better. Your body measurements are going down. If you take your body fat percentage and that number is also going down, whether it's through a scan or through calipers, if those numbers are going down, you are in a calorie deficit. You guys, I'm extremely excited to share today's video sponsor with you, Array Bloat Capsules. I know what you're thinking. Bloat capsules? What are those? And trust me, I thought the same thing. If you're someone like myself who suffers from regular bloating, sometimes at the end of the day, my stomach is out to here and I look like I'm 3 or 4 months pregnant. But not anymore after what I'm deeming the magic pill. All you have to do is take 2 or 3 pills right after your meal, whether you've had an indulgent meal or you just need help with overall digestion, and it will help reduce bloating in under an hour. The Array Bloat Capsules are a blend of 5 herbs and 1 fruit-based digestive enzyme. So only 6 all natural ingredients. They address causes of bloating, reduce heartburn, speed up food breakdown, prevent gas and discomfort, and are clinically proven to reduce bloating by 86% and relieve all IBS symptoms by 74%. So if you're someone who suffers from regular or even occasional bloating, even if it's just when you're traveling, trust me, you need Array Bloat in your life. It has been a complete game changer for me. Right now, Array is offering my listeners, you guys, 15% off your first order plus 4 free travel sachets if you go to the link in the description and use code SHOPYT-Michelle. Calorie deficit question number 5. How long should or can I be in a calorie deficit for? Now, this kind of depends on 1, how much body weight or body fat you have to lose, and 2, how aggressive your calorie deficit is. I normally don't recommend anyone being in a deficit consistently day after day for longer than 6 to 12 weeks without taking a short, what we would call diet break. So whether that's for a weekend or whether that's for 1 to 2 weeks where you're eating closer to maintenance calories. And it also kind of depends on what your goal for your deficit is. So if you're someone who just has a few extra pounds to lose and you're doing what we call a mini cut, where you're just gonna go into a very steep deficit for a short period of time to try and shed the last few pounds, the last bit of body fat, there is a timeline on that. Once you hit the 6-week mark, you're going back up. You can be a little bit steeper with your deficit because there's that time frame around it, and then you're going back up to maintenance or closer to maintenance calories. But if you're someone who has a lot of body weight to lose, and you're eating in a pretty strict calorie deficit and you're being consistent with it day after day, week after week, I usually recommend after about 12 weeks to take a short break, whether that's eating at maintenance or closer to maintenance, for 1 week to 2 weeks. Again, not only to give yourself a mental break, but also to refeed your body, refuel you, do all the things, and then you go right back into your deficit. But this also prevents metabolic adaptation, and most importantly, it gives you a time frame on your weight loss or fat loss journey. Meaning, instead of just being like, I'm gonna lose 50 pounds, ready, go, and I'm gonna eat in a strict calorie deficit for a very long time until I reach my goal, versus being like, okay, I'm gonna eat in a calorie deficit for the next 12 weeks. At that 12-week mark, I'm gonna eat at maintenance for 2 weeks, and then I'm gonna go back into my deficit for another 12 weeks, and I'm gonna repeat that process time after time until you reach your goal. And what that also will help you do is build a healthy relationship with food and understand that it's okay to eat a little bit more. It's okay to maybe see the scale go up 1 pound because you're fueling your body. Because what you wanna think about is once you reach your goal weight, you're not gonna wanna eat in that deficit anymore. You don't need to because you reached your goal weight, and you don't wanna have a mental shift, which a lot of people do when they've lost a lot of weight. They're scared to eat more because they get scared to gain the weight back. But when you have an understanding of what it's like to eat at maintenance, and you know that that's okay to maintain your current body weight, it's going to make your weight loss journey much more sustainable. Calorie deficit question number 6, what are the best foods to eat to stay full in a calorie deficit? I have a lot of videos already on my channel talking about this. So nutrient dense foods that are loaded with vitamins and minerals and not high in calories. And most importantly, especially if your goal is to maintain the muscle mass you have while eating in your calorie deficit, or possibly build some more lean muscle, you really want to make sure that you're eating protein and hitting your protein goal every day. So minimum of 0.7 to 1 gram per pound of body weight of protein every single day. Not only is it going to help keep you feeling full and energized, but it's also going to help with your muscle building or muscle maintaining process. Lots of fruits, lots of vegetables, whole grains like quinoa, brown rice, oats, and then healthy fats like avocados, nuts, seeds, olive oil. All of these nutrient dense foods are going to not only help you feel amazing while eating in your calorie deficit, it's also going to make you feel like you're able to eat more for minimal calories compared to calorie dense processed foods that usually come in packages that are higher in calories and aren't going to help keep you feeling full as much as high volume, high protein fruits, vegetables, nutrient dense foods are. Calorie deficit question number 7. What matters more, calories per day or hitting your macros? This depends on your goal. So if your specific goal of eating in a calorie deficit is just to see that number go down on the scale, then calories are king. If all you care about is seeing a lower number on the scale, you don't care about your body composition, you don't care about seeing muscles or changing the composition, meaning increasing lean muscle, decreasing body fat, then what matters the most is eating in your calorie deficit, and that's what is going to be the king for you, or queen. If your goal is body recomposition, then you probably shouldn't be eating in a steep calorie deficit. You should be eating in a slight calorie deficit or at maintenance with the goal of dropping body fat. That is where macros are going to be very important. But for changing your body composition, meaning you're wanting to increase your lean muscle mass, your macros are going to be important. So you can't just eat anything and everything. What you're fueling your body with is what's going to be most important, because not only do you want to be fueled to push through your strength workout, to lift heavy in order to cause that strain on your muscles in order to help them grow. And then you're going to support that with your macronutrients. So making sure you're getting healthy fats, good carbohydrates, as well as lots and lots of protein. Calorie deficit question number 8. What are some of the signs that you might be eating in too steep of a calorie deficit, or you've been in your calorie deficit for much too long? One sign is fatigue and weakness. So you wake up not feeling refreshed, you feel tired, you constantly feel drained, you're dragging yourself through your workouts. That's probably a sign your body is telling you it's not getting enough fuel. Another sign could be nutrient deficiency. So if your body is not getting enough nutrients and vitamins and minerals, you could start to see things like brittle nails, hair loss, and poor skin health. Another sign could be muscle loss. So if you are eating in too steep of a calorie deficit, again, or for a very, very long time, instead of seeing fat loss results, you could start to see a loss in muscle mass, which would come out in physical appearance of your body, as well as a decrease in strength and endurance in your workouts. Another sign could be mood changes. So whether you're irritable or what I like to call hangry, or you just have trouble concentrating. Some other things like slowed metabolism, more hunger and more cravings, irregular or missed cycles could come from excessive low calorie intake. And one last one is poor recovery from your workouts. So if you find you're not recovering well from your workouts, you're getting more sore, you constantly feel beat up and tired more so than you used to, this could also be a sign that either your calorie deficit is too steep or you've been in your calorie deficit for way too long. Calorie deficit question number 9. Can I lose fat without losing muscle while eating in a calorie deficit? Yes, for sure. It's definitely possible to maintain the muscle mass you have while eating in a calorie deficit with the goal of fat loss. But this is where, again, like I kind of just touched on, protein is going to be key, as well as a regular strength training regimen. So you want to make sure you're strength training a minimum of 3 times a week to keep working those muscles and keep stimulating the muscle fibers. But then you also want to make sure that you're eating enough protein every single day to help with muscle recovery, but also to feed those muscles to maintain the muscle mass you have. Almost there. Calorie deficit question number 10. Can eating in a calorie deficit specifically target and help lose belly fat? Yes, eating in a calorie deficit can lead to body fat loss, but we can't specifically target belly fat or pretty much anywhere in the body. We can't specifically target our underarms or our inner thighs or all the places that you want to lose body fat from. So when it comes to belly fat loss, I have an entire video talking all about belly fat loss. If you want to know more, I'll link that in the description below if you want to go watch that one next. But basically, eating with the goal of overall body fat loss, again, eating in a calorie deficit, eating your protein, doing all the things, that will and can eventually lead to belly fat loss. Drinking your water, getting your sleep, and keeping your stress levels low. Sleep and stress can play a huge role on cortisol levels. If you're not prioritizing your sleep, or you don't sleep well, or you're constantly stressed all the time, this could play a role in your belly fat and why you're struggling to reduce your belly fat. Calorie deficit question number 11. What if I hit a weight loss plateau? So my calorie deficit is going great, I'm crushing it, losing a little bit of weight week after week, and then it stalls. What do I do? First of all, I just want to say that a weight loss plateau is completely normal. And basically what is happening is your body is now adapting to that calorie deficit by dropping your metabolism a little bit to meet the calories that you've been giving it. So in turn, weight loss will stall. So there's a few things you can do. You can try adjusting your calorie intake, changing your workout routine, or maybe it's your body's way of saying it's time to take a break, whether it's a diet break or a refeed, whether it's for a weekend or for a week or 2 weeks, closer to maintenance calories to almost reset your metabolism. I have an entire video talking all about weight loss plateaus here. I'll link that video in the description below if you want to know more about how to approach a weight loss plateau and how to actually know if you truly are in a weight loss plateau or if you just had a week where the scale didn't move. They are two different things. Calorie deficit question number 12. Is it possible to gain muscle while eating in a calorie deficit? It is challenging, but it is possible, especially for beginners or those people returning to strength training after a very long time. It's also known as body recomposition, which is what I talk about a lot on this channel. So if you are a beginner, maybe you've dabbled in strength training, but you've never followed a specific program with progressive overload, counting your reps, tracking your weights, and really trying to build strength. If you are a beginner to that, there's a possibility you can eat in a slight deficit and still see some results in muscle gain. Or again, if you've been away for, couple months or years and you're coming back to strength training, you might reap the benefits of that as well. But if you're someone who's been strength training for a very long time and you have a pretty solid muscle mass already, you're just looking to build more muscle mass, this is where you probably need to cut yourself into 2 different phases, whether a fat loss phase or what some people call a bulking phase, or more like a muscle building phase where you're eating either at maintenance or in a calorie surplus with the goal of building muscle. And then you go into a fat loss phase with the goal of maintaining the muscle mass you built in that phase and dropping the body fat, and vice versa. So there you go, guys. Those are the 12 most common questions I get when it comes to calorie deficit and weight loss or muscle gain or body recomposition. I have a whole playlist of all the videos already on my channel talking about calorie deficit, foods, recipes, calculators, all the things you would need to know to get started on a calorie deficit. I'll link the playlist to those videos in the description below. And if your goal is body recomposition, meaning dropping body fat and building lean muscle, I also have a playlist with a whole bunch of body recomposition videos. I'll link that in the description below as well. I also have a free calorie deficit guide, which is just a free download. I'll put a link in the description below as to where you can go download that free calorie deficit guide. And if you need more help with all of this and you want to work with me one-on-one, I'll also put a link below to my online fitness and nutrition coaching program where me and you work together on your workouts and your nutrition to make sure you are taking the right steps, and I hold you accountable to that to get you to your fat loss goals. And if you have any questions about calorie deficit that I didn't answer in this video, leave them in the comments below and I will be down there answering questions as well. So this is our one-stop shop for all things everybody needs to know about calorie deficit. Do not be shy. Any question is a good question, and I guarantee if you're thinking it, someone else is thinking it as well. So leave it in the comments below and I will answer it there. So that's all for today. Have a great day, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.